Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel, on this beautiful day. How you guys and girls are doing? Hope you're doing great as always. Please check out the description box for all the nice links. Also drop a like, subscribe if you like the content. Today we're gonna be working with the Hitbox component. I was kind of I'm not really 100% sure on how that works, but we're gonna work with that. We'll see how that works out. One thing I want to do is I want to go into my game.cpp, and where we have the game update function, I'm just gonna do this. I'm going to do add, and this window has focus. So we won't update the game and all the states and shit while we don't have focus in the window. So that means that you can alt tab and you can do other things, which is good. So there you go. That's that. Once that's done, let's open up Hitbox component. And there you go. Let's see, Hitbox component. Okay, Hitbox component, we're going to open up entity and player. Okay, so a bunch of things here. I put entity on this side. Probably going to work with entity and Hitbox component for the most part. So we go down here into set position. So we're setting the sprite's position. Good. So if we make a Hitbox component, okay, so we're going to have to work with that. Movement component move. Okay, we're updating, we're rendering the Hitbox component. Okay. All right. So we are moving the Hitbox component at all times. So I'm going to have to see how that works out. But anyway, so the problem right now, let me just show you what the problem is so we can start working on it. Let's see, set position. There we go. I think I updated in player. I think that's the problem. Anyway, so when we're colliding, we're using the sprites collider, right? And we're not using the Hitbox's collider. So that's basically what I want to do. I want to use the Hitbox's collider instead of the sprite. That will let me just do stuff a lot easier, make the game more realistic and all that stuff. So let me just check out player.update. Let's just update ourselves here. So I'm updating Hitbox component, which is good. So it's basically going to make sure I move the sprite and everything. That's good. Now we need to make a few functions here. So we have check intersect. Let's make accessors. Accessors and modifiers. So to get the sprite's position, or to get the hitbox's position, I'm going to do a SF vector 2F reference const. And we're going to have to work with this in a few videos, I think, to get this properly working. So get position. We got to do it smart as well. Otherwise, it's going to be really it's going to be really hard to keep track of what the hell's going on. So we need to just make sure everything is smart. Everything is working fine. So now we have the get position. All this is going to do is just return this hitbox dot get position. This is a very simple function, no big deal. This is all it's going to do. Just get the hitbox's position. Now we need to make a set position as well. It's going to be a little more complicated, I'd say. Let's do a void set position door 2F and position const is a vector 2F position. All right, so we're going to do this. Define that. And here we go. So now comes the little more complicated part. Accessors and modifiers functions. Okay. Okay. All right. This should just be intersects. So, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. We have the position here. So this sprite set position. Let me just see if it is a vector to f, const vector to f position. So let's just make this a reference as well. Make that a reference here as well, just to make it a little more optimized. There you go. Okay, so now we're gonna have to copy this thing from update. I'm just gonna copy that like this, set position to this. So let me think. We're gonna set the hitbox's position to wherever I want it to be, and then we're gonna set the sprite's position to after the hitbox. So this hitbox dot set position. All right, and then we're gonna have to do this sprite dot set position. Position dot x minus the offset x and then position dot y minus the offset of y. So that's gonna make sure we set the hitbox's position first to whatever we want it to be, and then we're gonna set the sprite's position just to make sure it's updated. That seems good. All right, so that's the hitbox component set position. Let's see. This should just be called intersects. All right, just to make sure it looks like that. Let's just change that there as well. Okay, now it's gonna be a little problem, probably in player. It's gonna be a little weird, might be. But let's see what functions we have here. Init, update animation. Okay, we're updating the hitbox component. We need to go into entity.cpp. Am I even recording? Yeah. Okay, we need to be in here. Now, the magic happens here. The thing is, we're getting the sprite's position, okay? Which is great. But if we have a hitbox component, I'm pretty sure we want to get the hitbox's position. All right. Else, no, we don't need an else. So if we have the hitbox's position or hitbox component, we're just gonna do return this hitbox component and get position. So we're just gonna return the hitbox's position. And whoops, if this doesn't exist, it's just gonna skip all of this and just return the sprite's own position. So that's a good thing. Let's just copy this. Now the set position, the same thing. If this hitbox component, then, whoops, this, all right, so we need a const float. Let's see. Hitbox component set position. Let's see, x, y. We need to make a set position with a x, y as well. It's kind of annoying. But let me just do that quickly. We can use that, or we can use, whoops. Or we can use a const float x, const float y. I think we use references here as well. I'm not pretty 100% sure, but I think we do. Now let me just define that. So we're overloading this function. And then we're just going to do the same thing as we did here. Paste that x, y. Maybe we don't need, you know what? That might bug everything out. You know what? Don't do the reference here. I think you can. Pretty sure, but sometimes I get some buggy stuff going on, so I don't want to do that. X and then y. Just keep everything the same. Just do x and y here. And then you have the same function, just that you're using x and y. So it's a little easier. We don't have to create a vector2f temporary variable here. So we're just going to set the position. But here we need an else statement because there's no return. So it might do the both of those. But there we go. So that should be good. And then the same thing for move. So movement component. This will make sure that, I think the hitbox component's move will make sure that player. Okay, hitbox component move update. Make sure. Okay, I think we're good. I think that update thing takes care of everything. Anyway, I think it's gonna bug out. It should. But let's see if now it's colliding with the actual bounding box here. My beautiful little thing. So let me just fill this out. Let's go into editor. Let's load. We also changed these textures a little bit. I don't know if they look good, but I don't know why I can't draw here. Is that the end of the map? Are you serious? That's the end of the map? Pretty sure it is. Let's just do a little bit like that. Maybe add some of these here, make it look cool. It doesn't really work because, you know, I mean, these textures aren't made by a pro. They're just made by me. So it doesn't really look all that nice. But, you know, there you go. A little different. Let's save that. Quit. New game. Now, we have an issue here is that we have this. It's checking with that box there. We don't want that. So let's just fix that before we go ahead and move on. I think it's in game state where that problem is. No, tile map, right? Check collision. Pretty sure it is in tile map. Update collision. Okay. So if entity position X. Here's where we need the plus entity dot. No. Get size. Okay, global bounds dot width. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to use, and then we're just gonna call it. We haven't defined that yet, but we will. And then we'll do same thing for Y here. Plus entity get global height, so that we're not checking for the top point, but we're checking for the bottom point against the bottom of the world, so we don't go outside of the world. So let's just go ahead and define this in hitbox component. Get position right here. Get position. Also, we need to define that in entity. Let's do that quickly before we have to end the video. Accessors. All right. Virtual const SF. Wait, global bounds. Is that float? I think it's float rect. Get global bounds const like that. Please hurry up. Let's define this and go in here. All it's gonna do is just return this sprite.get global bounds. All right, and I think this returns a float rect, temporary float rect. Okay, I see. Then I can't really use the reference there. It might bug out. This might bug the hell out because we're getting back a temporary, and that might bug the hell out. So you know what? I'm just gonna not use that. Usually that gives me a lot of bugs. So remove the reference there. We can still keep the const if we want. Doesn't really matter. We'll keep the const, and we'll just return the sprites global bounds. But if this hitbox component, then this hitbox component and get global bounds, and we're going to define that in there as well. Return this hitbox component get global bounds. All right, good. Let's go into hitbox component. Where did I put that? Did I put it under? Yeah. So let's keep the same order here. Const sf float rect get global bounds. Const. Okay. Define that, and we're in the final stretch here. Return this hitbox dot get global bounds. So we're just returning the beautiful hitbox global bounds, and we should be good to go. So if I run this now, we should have these functions running just fine, no problems. Hopefully. Okay, new game. It should collide on this side now. Oh wait, oh yeah, that's because I set the position. My bad. Last final thing, I promise. Final thing, tile map CPP. Okay, so I'm setting the position. Set position entity get position dot x minus, so the world's max size minus this height that we just got. So I'm just gonna copy paste this height right into here, just minus. So we're not putting it right at the edge, we're moving it up with the height of the entity as well. And I'm just gonna copy that, and wherever I set that position here, minus, and then this should be width right there. So once that's done, just check out the code. The thing is that instead of setting it to the 0 or the top left position of the character, now it's gonna set it to the bottom. So it's gonna look like we're colliding properly, see? So now we can't go out of the world. All right, so that looks great, right? That looks nice. That looks nice. That looks nice. Okay, so in the next video, keep working on this colliding thing, hitbox component. Now it's kind of working naturally, right? It's picking automatically which function it's going to use depending on if the entity has the component or it doesn't, okay? And the same thing you can do here. If you're moving using the movement component here, I'm just gonna do that, or else this sprite dot move. Okay, so if a sprite doesn't have any what do you call it, movement component, then we can move it with this direction and some kind of sprite velocity if we would like to, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it like this for now. So the entity update, what we could do here is we could do update all of these updates actually in that entity update, and we could call the entities update in here if we would want to, but I think it's a pure virtual function. No, it's not really. Yeah, we should make that pure virtual actually. You know, we should. What if we set that to 0? Set render to 0. All right, okay. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And then move set position. Okay, so if we just run this, set those to 0, just run this, I think it's gonna bug the hell out. Yeah. Where do we define those? Let me just check that before we go ahead here. I said we'd end this video like 100 times now, but let's see. One error. Player cannot instantiate abstract class. Has no entity render. Okay, player update entity render. Okay, so we kind of need to define this in player. Where do we have this here? Virtual void. We don't really need virtual, I think. I don't think we need virtual here. Void render. How does it look? Render target reference target. SF render target reference target. All right, and we're just gonna go ahead and define this so that the thing doesn't complain and our entity can be a virtual void. There we go, and we'll just paste that target draw the sprite if this hitbox component render. Very simple, very simple. But we do have, I don't even need to have that checked because we guaranteed to have a hitbox component when we're in player. So it's only an entity when you're not sure. Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna render this empty here. We don't need that. I'll run this. Hopefully it will run without any problems. And I just want to see our player rendering and then I'll be happy. Okay, player rendering. Everything is working fine. All right, good job, guys and girls. There you go. That's it for this video. But thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll get collision going very soon. And we'll work with the movement component, make sure we can stop when we collide as well, all that stuff. So, but thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next one, all right? Bye-bye.